our Gen Zers are having a hard time for sure purchasing, and they will have a hard time purchasing, but here's what they need to focus on. They need to focus on education. They need to focus on prioritizing homeownership if they ever want to buy. They need to take matters into their own hands so that they are going to be better prepared when it's time for them to purchase. Okay guys, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Sean, Sam, Claudia. In 2016, the World Economic Forum produced a report. You will own nothing and be happy by 2030.
What?
That is actually true, yes.
Seriously? Holy. Sean, how do you feel about that?
That's absolutely stupid.
I mean, I feel like, you know, there's an intent behind that. I don't want to get conspiracy theory over here, but.
Why not?
Okay, I mean, I think at the end of the day, very wealthy people would like to see our society be controlled by them. I mean, control is like, if you have endless money, what's the one thing you want after that? It's power, right? And so you strive to have the power, and they'll go to any lengths to have that power. Now, who that is that the elites or who, I don't know.
Well, Sam, I don't disagree with you at all on that. And that's funny when you say having nothing will make you happy, and yet you're talking about a small percentage of people who will be extremely happy because they have extreme wealth, but yet they're trying to tell us that,
0.1%.
oh, you'll be, yeah, but you who have nothing will be happy having nothing, which is bullshit. That's bullshit. Everyone needs something to look forward to work forward to. You know, that's just the way the world goes around.
People want a sense of accomplishment, of course, right? So you're part of the Gen Z, cohort. How do you feel about that? Because that's really aimed towards you.
Well, I think it's just a sign of like giving up. Like, I think their solution to the housing affordability crisis is just buy everything for everybody, do everything for everybody, and, you know, let them go on their way and be happy. Well, that's like a socialist society.
And it's like renting everything, right?
Literally.
I'm going to rent.
Lease, rent.
Yeah, lease,
like
rent, everything.
We've become a credit-based society. I mean,
not put your name on anything, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when we dropped the gold standard, I mean, it's like you could just buy and do anything you want.
Well, the problem with renting, though, is that exactly those 1%ers are getting all the assets, all the homes, and then everyone else is renting from them. So it just puts everyone else in that poverty.
And you never go back.
Yeah.
You never go back. Oh, what was it? There was a war that was caused a long, long time ago because of this. People felt like the top was too wealthy, too rich, and so they sparked the war, and they actually fought back. I think if people care enough, in the States, I think they'd head to that. I don't know in Canada, though.
Well, I could tell you could speak to some Eastern Europeans who have come here from Europe and escaped their communist country, have definitely felt this way for sure, right?
100%. And when you talk about our neighbors to the south, I do agree with the current climate. I think if anyone's going to stand up to what I see and agree with you, Sam, is potentially coming, the rich taking over the world, that I personally myself will bear arms with them. I thought to myself, would I ever have gone into the world wars? Would I ever fight potentially for my country? No, but I would. But again, back then it was for their kids. Well, and I will fight for my kids so that they are able to have what I'm working towards now, is to create that wealth for them so they can have a great life. To see someone just take that away from them for my hard efforts, no way, I'm fighting for that.
I feel like as a parent, you get to a point, like, you know, Sean, you've done well for yourself, Vince, you as well, where now, like, when you have kids, it's not the making of the money that makes you excited anymore. It's the development of their future, you know, and setting them up for success, because you can only imagine how challenging it's going to be.
Yeah, no, you want them to progress. So then obviously we're drawing a parallel here, right? We're saying home ownership and freedom go hand in hand. So are we safe to assume that if you own nothing and you'll be happy is false, because you're not necessarily free?
100%.
100%.
Agree with you.
False narrative.
So okay, you want to buy a home at some point. We've talked about this before. What do you feel about this whole sort of agenda, I guess, if we're talking about Agenda 2030, World Economic Forum? You'll own nothing, you'll be happy.
Well, I think it's a false narrative, because I think everyone needs their basic necessities met. And part of that is having a roof over your head and buying a home. And
Is that the basic necessity, though?
I mean, I
Maybe
think
North
having
America.
a roof over your head.
Maybe North America. I mean, and look in third world countries.
So what would
like,
be a basic necessity of not North Americans?
shelter isn't one of them. I mean, I think it's what a human being needs, but without question, it's just not something that is assumed to be had by third world countries. It's just not.
No, and true, but then it's the fact that are they actually happy with nothing?
Yeah, and are they? Well, no, I don't.
Yes,
I
yeah, I
think
can't speak for that.
Living, I feel like living in poverty does not make you happy. A lot of them are struggling. I think maybe people who are more religious beliefs have some sort of ability to be okay with that statement. But even people who are religious, I feel like would struggle with that statement. If they can't provide for their children, people in third world countries, I mean, they're getting diseases because they don't have the basic necessity to even health care.
Right. And I mean, shelter, I believe, is a basic necessity.
100%.
At the end of the
I would
day,
say so.
you know, if I'm going to have a family, and I do, I mean, we have to live somewhere, right? At the end of the day. So,
I mean, but that goes back to like Habitat for Humanity, you know? They need people to go in the third world countries and help build homes and provide shelter. So I would say it's definitely a necessity.